Boys and girls, let's face it, whatever proper plug you thought you had on the official elements that were going to be coming for Lucy and Rebecca, he let us down. He let us all down. All right, we ain't never trusting that guy again. Yeah, brother, I'm talking to you. You know what's funny? I don't even look at leaks. I say this all the time, and it's the absolute truth. But leaks for games like Wuthering Waves, like Genshin Impact, HSR, they are so ridiculously like high in volume on Twitter that you're gonna get them without even having to go and look for them. And let's just face it, a lot of the time people were on Twitter talking about how Rebecca was going to be Havoc. And then I made a video about how excited I would be to be able to have a Havoc Rebecca synergize with my Hiyuki. That dream just got crushed and thrown in the garbage can. It is what it is. This is what happens when you try to rely on leaks. This is why you don't ever rely on leaks. Lesson learned right then and there. That said, it turns out that Rebecca is going to be Electro. She's going to be Electro. To be fair, man, you know, I pulled up some of her powers and abilities in here. It's like all you got to do is just look at every single one of these different gadgets and guns that she is rocking, bro. She's got 2x cyber arms, gorilla arms, cyber optics, EMP threading, light tattoos, who cares about that, neuroport tech hair, and chemical skin. Crusher, DB2, Satara, D5, Copperhead, Guts, Modified, Carnage, HJSH18 Masamune, M2038 Tactician. Girl, she's got 17 different weapons. And when you think about, like, I think about Cable from X-Men. You know what I mean? Cable with the freaking big gun. It's like, it screams electricity. It really does make the most sense, if I'm being honest, especially when you consider all these different variations of guns. But it would have been nice if she was Havoc, because the little bitch do be wreaking some havoc. I think we can all agree that the little girl got a little havoc in her. I put up some like crazy grimaces like her face, bro. Look at her. Such an innocent looking little girl can be so violent at times. And so I was really just hoping that she would have a havoc element. Another thing is, I brought up the character roster here. There's only one true main DPS for Havoc, like true main DPS. And that's Camellia. We are starving for more Havoc DPS characters. Like, you've got Rochia, but she's a support character. And I'm not saying Rebecca might not be main DPS. I don't know what they're going to do with her. I don't know what they're going to cook with her. If I'm being completely honest, I prefer her to be like a sub DPS, just so she can not only synergize with Lucy. We know damn well she's going to synergize with Lucy, but potentially synergize with other team comps. I actually would prefer to be a sub DPS. I don't know about y'all's thoughts. Maybe that's a hot take, but like, you got Cantarella. She's not a main DPS, right? You've got Frolova, who's like kind of like this jack of all trades character, depending on your investment in her and stuff, which is not a true main DPS. And then of course there is Chisa, which I want to come back to that because that's a fascinating conversation. So that's why I would have really enjoyed if she was Havoc. Havoc would have been like a more fresh look, I feel, on the character. And then most importantly, if she was Havoc Bane, our Hiyuki would have synergized with her. I feel like Lene is like the jack of all trades character in 3.0. She's utilized in so many different compositions. I would have liked to put Lene to the side and put in her position my girl. What's her name? Rebecca. It is what it is. Dream is crushed. I'm not even tripping that much. This collab is so peak that if it's just only synergistic with Lucy, I'm okay with it because I'm going all in on Lucy anyway. If it's just Lucy and Rebecca, who's going to be the third slot? That's an interesting discussion, right? Are they going to do a Chisa route? I'll be real. I'm actually all for the Chisa route. I would love the fact that Chisa is now not only viable with Hiyuki, not only viable with Kartathea and Chakona, but now a third option. It's now Chisa. That would be a hell of a comeback, wouldn't it? Oh, talk about aging like wine, but starting off like fucking spoiled milk. Chisa, Lucy, Rebecca. I actually would genuinely love that. If Lucy and Rebecca have negative statuses, which we all know the game could use more investment, more attention in that realm, more negative statuses are actually needed in the game. I'll be real. That would be a W. But that said, something tells me they might just do the whole generic route and pair her up with a Mornier, just like you do with your other team comps in 3.0, and just go the whole tune break rake. If that is the case, I think we got a whole nother path that we could potentially be seeing with Lucy and Rebecca. Maybe somebody's going to be tune shifting between the two. Probably Lucy. You know what I mean? The way I'm looking at this, if I'm being honest, I feel like Lucy might be the tune shifting if they synergize with Mornier, and the main DPS might actually end up being Rebecca. Because another thing about our game today is actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm speaking too soon. I was going to say we ain't got too many Electro DPS, but I am disrespecting my queen, Augusta. She is the premier main DPS for Electro teams. That's exactly why I feel like Rebecca shouldn't be main DPS. You know, like competing with this girl is, she is still a monstrous unit next to Yuno. Still a fantastic DPS. Yeah, so I don't know. I think the most sense is gonna be, if they do go the main DPS route, make Chisa have a little bit more airtime. Who else would it be? It's not gonna be Shorekeeper. She's too old at this point. And I love Shorekeeper, but she's in the back with Amber at this point. Not really, but she is. I think it's between Chisa and Mornier, and Chisa makes the most sense. Now, on top of this, getting off of these two, they also revealed the second character. I knew this was going to happen. I don't know why they waited a whole entire freaking hour. I had to wait a whole hour for this. I wanted to make this video an hour ago. I was like, they're going to drop her at 11. They did. All right. Now, this we all actually expected. I do feel like Lucy is synergizing, or just her whole entire functionality and kit repertoire is absolutely more of a supportive role. Now that I'm thinking about it, right? She hacks into people's cybernetic realms of security. She's like very like stealthy. She doesn't really have like abilities and powers, I would say, that scream main DPS realm. They scream supportive DPS realm, if not like supportive with just a little bit of damage. And I brought up this just so we can look at it. She has elite net running. Lucy is a highly skilled net runner capable of hacking into secured systems and people's implants, often disabling opponents' security and weapons instantly. So maybe she can even have a little bit of CC. I think that'd be cool. Like, CC is so rare in Wuthering Waves. We did just get some with the Hiyuki where she freezes people. And then you got like the slow down time thing with the Spectro people. I think it would be cool if it was like a momentary CC with like exclusive to the collab character. I really would like enjoy that. You got monowire combat. She uses a specialized razor sharp monowire implant hidden in her wrists. Let's zoom in on this a little bit more. To slice through enemies and obstacles with deadly precision. That screams like an assassin type of ordeal. So maybe she could be one of those characters that doesn't necessarily have to be on the field too long, but it's like a smooth fluidity to it, maybe similar or comparable to like Denia. Deep net diving. She has the specialized skill required to navigate the deeper, more dangerous levels of the net. I feel like this would be cool if they gave her kind of like a cloak invisibility, like type of stealthy move as she's going through the combat. I don't know, maybe I'm overcooking with that one. I just feel like that could translate quite well. Rapid hacking and tactical intel. She's proficient at quick hacks using her cyber deck to incapacitate foes and controlling the flow of battle. Maybe they incorporate the Spectro slow time thing within some of these prowers we're looking at. Enhanced agility and speed. I think of giving her a burst step to go around like super slick would be cool. She possesses high, likely supersonic reaction speeds, enabling her to dodge projectiles and combat dangerous enemies. There's no way the devs aren't taking these abilities into consideration while they're developing the kit. I literally can't wait for that Jeff Keighley leak, or maybe the freaking the Cyberpunk team themselves leaks it. Regardless, these powers translate really well into Wuwa. I can easily see them doing some really cool shit. Maybe she has guaranteed dodges like Mornier, but cooler. You know, if Mornier's in the air and she gets hit, you can dodge 3 times in the air without hitting the ground. Maybe she's got something like that. And you've got strategic thinking. She's a natural strategist, planning and executing complex missions with high efficiency. This could just translate into a passive ability that maybe like buffs the team's damage. And whether it's amplified, additive, or crit rate, crit damage, whatever the case, or maybe negative status. See, some of this stuff, the CC, like disabling opponent security and weapons, that can be translated into negative status. It could. So could the other one where it says incapacitating foes and controlling the flow of battle. These all scream towards the CC domain. So I'd be curious to see what they're cooking up with that. But ultimately, I think I've yapped y'all's ears off enough. I don't even know where the time is. I did bring up Sheik from Zelda because that's what it reminds me of. If you go back and look at her, the quick teaser, you'll see the strings coming out of her arms like an assassin. And I feel like that scream. If you've ever played Sheik in Super Smash Bros, you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. That's kind of what I was cooking with that one. But that's going to wrap up all of my thoughts. I am not disappointed in any capacity that Rebecca isn't Havoc. It was kind of just like a dream I was hoping would come true. But the fact that it isn't, I was already fully anticipating Rebecca and Lucy to synergize with one another. Overall, still incredibly super stoked for this collab. It looks beautiful. I can't wait to see those leaks from Jeff Keighley. But yeah, or the team, or the Cyberpunk Edge Runners teams. We'll see what the hell happens. Peace, love, and happiness. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.